This is 9 News.
Saw one drive by right now,
hanging out of the back of the
giving
truck.
CPR because he had probably been shot.
Truck right now, CPR.
Control, that is correct. Shots fired from Mandalay Bay. There's many people down. Stage left. Just be advised.
We have multiple casualties. GSW's in the medical tent. Multiple casualties.
We got one suspect down. Multiple firearms.
There were so many people running in so many directions, and it was so scary.
The final night of a 3-day country music festival became the scene of the deadliest mass shooting in the U.S. Thousands of people running for safety. 59 killed, 527 injured.
Las Vegas police are warning that the process of identifying bodies is going to take a long time. The Associated Press says that those bodies are still being removed from the scene. A counseling center has been set up to comfort victims' families and ultimately to conduct the interviews that investigators need in order to identify their loved one's body. Shooter had 18 weapons in his hotel room. His perch from the 32nd floor allowed him to fire into the defenseless crowd for about 15 minutes. He apparently did not want to live to face the SWAT team that burst through his door and found that he had killed himself.
Chris Vanderveen shows us minute by minute the complexities of the attack that has shaken our country.
Venue sits mostly on concrete, a few hundred yards northeast of Mandalay Bay. More than 20,000 are there to see the night's headliner, Jason Aldean.
We got shots fired at 4:15 a.m. Route 291. Sounded like an automatic firearm.
What is it?
I don't know. At first, it's not clear what's going on. And then an officer spots the flashes coming from the nearby hotel.
It's coming from upstairs in the Mandalay Bay. Upstairs in Mandalay Bay, halfway up. I see the shots coming from Mandalay Bay. Halfway up.
It won't take long for officers to start thinking about heading in.
I'm going to form a strike team, Mandalay Bay and the Boulevard.
12 minutes in, the evacuation of patients begins. Some will leave in police cars.
I'm at the UNC with a female with a gunshot wound in the head.
That hospital, 6 miles away, will take 104 patients on this night. Another hospital, Sunrise Medical, will treat 180. Back on the south end of the strip, 16 minutes in, the gunfire is over and a team is inside.
I'm on the 32nd floor. The room is going to be 135, break.
Yet there's worry. Might there be more shooters elsewhere?
It sounds like it's confirmed there are at least 2 shooters with fully automatic weapons.
It's all made worse by calls coming in from other casinos, starting with New York, just 2 blocks away.
Multiple reports of shots fired inside New York.
Okay, now I'm getting information of an active shooter at Tropicana.
Then Aria, then Bellagio.
Be advised, we're getting multiple calls of active shooters at multiple locations. May or may not be diversion.
Turns out they're all unfounded. Back at Mandalay, officers are finally ready to go in, a little more than an hour after the first shots.
Sit on the suspect's door. I need everybody in that hallway to be aware of it and get back.
In the end, there is no gunfight. The shooter is already dead.
We are clearing this road. We have one suspect down.
The shooter was subsequently identified as Stephen Paddock. We'll mention his name today as the first details about him are learned and hope that it fades from memory soon. Investigators say that they found additional guns, explosives, and ammunition in his home in Mesquite, Nevada. His brother says he was a big spender at the casinos, would often receive free rooms and meals from the casino. Eric Paddock told reporters today that he never saw his brother show signs of violence and that he owned several guns, but he did not view his brother as a gun expert or collector.
Among those injured, an off-duty Inglewood Detective Curtis Looney was among those attending the 3-day Route 91 Harvest Festival. He was shot. Some of his family members tell 9 News they were in contact with him early Monday morning today, and that they're waiting to learn more about when he'll be released from the hospital and the next steps. They did not describe his injuries, but they say he is going to be okay. We know a mother from Lakewood was also at the concert. She went to Las Vegas for a relaxing weekend, and she describes a scene of horror and blood everywhere. The families of the victims and survivors in Vegas are taking these first steps right now.
Yeah, down this long road that is known all too well by the families that were forever changed by the Aurora Theater shooting.
And 9 News reporter Anastasia Bolton talked to the parents of Jessica Gowie, a name we know well here, one of the 12 who died in the Aurora Theater shooting.
And, you know, when you guys talk to the survivors, as we have done in the last 5 years,
Every time something like this happens, and unfortunately there have been a number of mass shootings since Aurora 5 years ago, it takes people back to how it felt, to how the air tasted, to exactly the moment that they lost their loved ones 5 years ago. For Sandy and Lonnie Phillips, it is another reminder why they keep fighting for what they call common sense gun laws. Their 24-year-old daughter, Jessica Gowie, as we mentioned, died after being shot multiple times.
I think those of us who have been through a mass casualty shooting and have fought hard for common sense gun laws that haven't passed have all known that this kind of thing was going to happen. You know, we've had churches, we've had schools, we've had movie theaters, and now we have a concert. So I think Americans are beginning to wake up and understand that they're not safe anywhere because of our easy access to being able to buy guns that are meant for war.
The National Association for Gun Rights issued a statement this afternoon saying, quote, "It's not the time to push a worn-out gun control agenda," end quote.
We see their faces and we know what they've been living with for 5 years, and so many people that we'll never forget in our community. So we have a sense of what the people in Las Vegas are feeling right now.
All those families that chose to either step into the spotlight, as Sandy and Lonnie have done, or others who have retreated from the limelight and want no part of it, just families forever changed.
Right.
Everybody's dealing with it differently. They're dealing with it as not only talking about gun control, they're going to be reaching out to families and talking to people and saying, I have lived through this. This is what I've done and worked for me to how to live your life, to continue living your life. So they're going to try to help.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Anastasia.
Thank you.
In Las Vegas, people lined up outside of blood banks hoping to do something, trying to help after blood drives were announced. United Blood Services and University Medical Center announced a blood drive effort this morning. Bonfils tells us its network of blood centers has already shipped blood to Las Vegas and is currently determining the need for any additional donations. Bonfils says if you would like to donate, please set up an appointment. We have information on how to schedule an appointment, other ways that you can help on 9news.com.
NBC Nightly News will have extended coverage of the mass shooting in Las Vegas beginning at 5:30. Next, will air after Nightly at 6:30.
An Amber Alert was issued out of Colorado Springs within the hour. 3-year-old William Lake was last seen this morning in southeast Colorado Springs. Colorado Springs police say he was last seen with his dad, David Kevin Lake. I believe we have a photograph. We'll get to it. We believe he is driving a blue 2003 Toyota Corolla with license plate number OBP131. William is described as 3, blonde, curly hair, blue eyes. Anyone with information on their whereabouts should contact police. Rainy, gloomy, just cold here in Denver, and snow up in the mountains. The snow in the high country, it's going to dwindle down, we think. But we could see another round of rain here in the metro area before this night is over. Kathy's in the Weather Center. And the rest of the week, a little drier, cool.
Yes, cool and unsettled, Kim, seems to be a pattern for us, doesn't it? Outside, the rain has returned to the metro area. Dark clouds, foggy conditions, and the rain will pick up in the next 2 hours before finishing completely this evening. Snow up in the high country, amazing amounts of snow. 19 inches at Steamboat, about a foot at Loveland, Breckenridge, Winter Park with 9, Blackhawk and Silverthorne with about 6 inches of snow. Snow level around 8,000 feet, could go to 7. All of the winter weather and travel advisories will cancel out at midnight. Still tracking isolated severe storms on the far eastern plains. That's a tornado watch east of Lamar. And further north, additional snow showers bringing accumulating snow outside of Billings, where a winter storm warning remains in effect there. Another 4 to 8 inches of snow in the red area there. That's a winter storm warning with just a couple of additional inches in the winter weather advisory blue areas. In Denver, scattered showers between now and 8, and then we get those rain showers out of here. The fog and the clouds stick around. It'll be a chilly start to your day tomorrow, but the sun comes up and I have Denver dry. 42 at DIA, 32 in Silverthorne, and 33 currently in Idaho Springs. It's a chilly night out there, and we do expect scattered rain showers to pick up between now and 7 o'clock and then ending completely before 9 o'clock. Coming up in our weather segment, we're going to talk about a drier day Tuesday, but another chance for showers, Kim, later in the week before we get back to sunshine and 70s, and I think we're all ready for that.
Yeah, this is stretched out a little longer than we expected.
It has, yeah.
All right, thank you, Kathy.
Police statewide are asking people to be on the lookout for a stolen pickup that was involved in a deadly hit and run. Aurora police say a person was hit and killed while crossing the street near Colfax and North Kingston, about 8 blocks east of Havana. Witnesses say they saw a white F-250 pickup hit that person, then drive away around midnight. Aurora police have a plate number that they're sharing. You see it there on the screen, Colorado plate 297PMQ. Pickup has a fifth wheel towing device on the back and a broken headlight that was damaged when that pedestrian was hit. The Douglas County Sheriff's Office says a 24-year-old woman's body was found on the side of I-25 this weekend. Shelby Weatherly's body was discovered just south of the Greenland exit on Saturday. It's not clear how she died. The Douglas County Sheriff's Office asked us to pass along their tip line. The number is there, 303-660-7579. They hope to hear from anyone who may have information about Weatherly or who may have seen anything Friday night or early Saturday.
A team looking for a missing Littleton police officer on Mount Elbrus in Russia has suspended its search. Don Bowie, who had been leading the search for Stephen Bear, posted on Facebook saying light snow had recently fallen on the mountain, and he said, like in any search, a balance must be struck between finding the missing and continuing to put the lives of rescue teams at risk. During his search for Bear, Bowie says his team found the bodies of 5 other climbers, one who had been missing for 25 years. Bear was last seen and heard from on June 14th when he planned to begin his climb on the highest peak in Europe.
Republicans in the state Senate killed a bill today that would have fixed a mistake in a new tax law. That error accidentally blocked so-called special districts like RTD or the zoo from collecting sales tax on marijuana, sales tax revenue. Republicans said this wasn't the big emergency that Governor Hickenlooper made it out to be when he called them back for a special session starting today. They want voters to approve a fix next year because the fix would bring in new money under the Taxpayers' Bill of Rights. RTD says it'll lose at least $2 million as a result of the error. That fix failed today on a 3-2 party line vote in committee. There's a similar bill alive via Democrats in the House, but it is likely to die if it gets to the Senate.
Ahead, what we're learning from people who witnessed the shooting in Las Vegas after the break.